my guy.
Coach Burnett. Day one in the books. These kids are pumped, man. These kids, this was therapy for a lot of these kids today.
Yeah.
Eric and I talked about the mental illness aspect of quarantine and lockdown, and today was a huge release for a lot of these kids.
Yeah.
How'd you feel it went?
100%. I thought it went good. Probably about as good as it can go. You know, we're dealing with a time where everybody's kind of being reactive, trying to be cautious. You know, you just put in place protocols. You know, we got our spacing on the mat with the white squares and the whatever, and you know, you try to keep them, you know, to a couple partners, and you just try to implement stations to sanitize and promote wiping their feet off and using hand sanitizer and washing your hands, and you keep your numbers down in certain areas, and you just go with the flow. But you know, to piggyback on your point about the mental health, yeah, it's a big deal, man. It's more of I don't think people think about it. It's real easy to sit back and say, well, you know, we don't want to be selfish, we got to think about other people. But when you start seeing the toll that being just shut up in your house and not being able to be around people, or taking away stuff that is meaningful to people and kids, and then just activity, and especially for, wrestling guys, I can attest to it. I have to have release physically and mentally and spiritually, and it's just like, yeah, it's a good thing. But I say that cautiously optimistic. So we'll see how it goes. You know, we're learning. We make a little bit of adjustments from today into tomorrow, and then just go with the flow.
Ian was in today. Ian really used to just get pounded at these camps really bad. It's pretty cool for him to be able to come back and be like, yeah, I used to get just mauled here. Now, Ian was within a group that's probably a rare group for most, even, you know, like a Young Guns type, or even you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
What the group that Young Guns just had in the last 3 or 4 years go through college.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It was like what your group was, 10 years ago.
Yep. No doubt. Dude, his group, you had the Stevers in there, Camp Tasari, him, Nick Lawrence. I'm leaving guys. There was dudes that were,
Tomasello was on the young end of that, right?
Yeah, like Nate Tomasello.
Cam Tasari,
Chris
Phillips.
And then Chris Phillips.
Dave
Habit.
Really good guys.
Jerome Robinson, Ty Mitch.
Yes.
Dude, so, you're talking about a group of dudes that were really good. Good at wrestling. And tough and good. And he'll share with you. Ian's a really good guy, man. There was times when, you talked to your brother about it, and he didn't really look forward to coming, but, Ian, that's what, I got the story about Ian when I wrestled him going into his senior year or whatever, and he picked me up. I had like a closed whizzer on him, and he picked me straight up in the air and then returned me to the mat and took me down, and I knew at that point that he had jumped the level, and that's really cool to see when guys do that. Guys like the kids you were interviewing here today, those dudes are tough. They're really good at wrestling, man. And hopefully they can, the things with the pandemic really calm down, and these guys can end up getting a season in, and they get a chance to, perform and do what they love. But yeah, those that group what Ian was in was phenomenal, and yeah, and there was days where they all took. Jamie Clark was another one that was in there. They all took lumps, man. So, but that's what made them good. The driving in the car, the reps, the tough goes, the no break essentially from it's just I don't know what the word.
They left their high school practices a lot of the time and came to club practice.
Yeah, yep. And had coaches that were cool enough to let them leave early, you know what I mean, or to come out and get that supplemental training. It's attrition. Every go was a war of attrition, and it ultimately, Ian Miller, look at his credentials. These guys are monsters, you know what I mean? So, no, it's cool, man. It was neat. It's good to be able to be in a position where, I'm still able to do what I love, and Eric, and coach up my brother, and be around guys like you, and in our support system, and have our community kids be able to wrestle other kids. Yeah, but just a weird deal. We're in a weird deal. So.
How was your knee today?
Oh, it was bugging me. I don't. But just working through it. Usually a little bit of activity, kind of wrestling, roll around. I get hot, I get warmed up. It makes me feel better. I jammed my neck up a little bit today. But Casey Swiderski and Joe Blaze and Ty Swiderski and those guys are getting big and strong and they're really tough. So, but it's nice to still be able to wrestle and be able to help them in a more hands-on manner, be able to learn with them. So yeah, I'm grateful I can still roll around.
You guys did a lot of disinfecting. It was a tall order, man.
Sure.
You're wiping the wall mats down. You're disinfecting the walls. You're doing obviously the mats. It was a lot of work.
Yeah, and rightfully so, because what we're dealing with, to be able to do a camp, when we met and we talked about it as a staff, with my brother and I, and we were over the course of spring and early summer, we got to keep your pulse on what's going on. Our county just went to like level 3 a couple days ago, so you get roadblocks kind of put in your way, but you learn to deal with them. All you can do is send out information. What we can do is we can say, okay, you wrestle one person. When we go live, you're going to go a group of 3 with these 2 people. Try to social distance when you're off the mat. Make sure when you're off the mat, you're wiping down with the defense wipes and you're using a hand sanitizer and you're washing your hands, and keep your bags out there and come in one door and go out another. We were checking temperatures. I mean, we're doing everything that you do minus wearing a mask in this facility when dudes are wrestling. I don't know how you do that. Moving forward, I guess we'll see. I feel comfortable. We've got open airflow. We have 2 garage doors open up in this facility. We have another set of man doors open up. We got 3 sides of the space opened up to fresh air. We got fans moving air. We got 2,000 wipes as far as that are at disposal. You verbally coach them. Hey, stay away from each other the best you can when you're off the mat. Wipe down, sanitize. Wipe the pull-up bars down, and that's all you can do. You know what I mean? But that's where we're at. It's you either don't do anything, or you do what you can do and try to be as cautious as you can, and you move forward. And that's the approach that we've taken.
All right, Eric's here tomorrow. Ian's here tomorrow, so we're going to have a pretty good lineup tomorrow. And then the rest of the week, we're going to probably see some other club coaches. Might see Danny Mitchell.
Yep, Danny may pop in. He was, he had to make sure, with the college guys, that they're making sure what they can do. Obviously my brother is a phenomenal technician. He's going to have his input. Hopefully I get to do a little bit of stuff just because I like to coach.
Ben Darmstadt's
I think Ben will pop in, which he'll be able to show some cool, maybe scrambling, really dangerous point scoring, pinning techniques. And that's always good for the camp because, what was great about Ian today was Ian didn't really cover a lot, but he got into a system. It was systematic, and we're very systematic with our approach, I feel like. And so that was really cool to watch him coach. It's really neat because I've known him since he was young. So, he's obviously growing into, he's married now, and he's a grown man, and he's been a collegiate coach, and he's an awesome dude. And it was neat to kind of sit back and watch him do his thing, and watch the kids pick up learning from somebody different besides me or Eric or whoever. So, it was good, man. We hopefully all those guys can come through, and we can, they can have a bunch of stuff thrown at them.
You got anything else for me?
No, man. I'm glad you're here. I'm just glad you're able to be around, and it's really cool to coach and do what we do.
All right. I like the Barbarian.
Yeah, man. These guys. So they we hooked up with these guys last year, and they've been awesome, man. Awesome quality gear. just does a good job working with the customers, and it's good. It's all good, man.
Defense soap. You use Defense soap. That's what you'll go home and shower with.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the wipes, over 2,000 wipes.
Yep, we got 4 of the 500 wipe buckets in here. We got 2 in the middle, 1 in each corner over there, and they're phenomenal. I mean, they're easy to use. They seem like they're never ending. And, you know, I mean, kids pull a couple of those out. They can wipe down their whole arm, their face, their neck, their legs that are exposed. Throw them in the garbage. They're easy to take care of. That company is really doing some really good things, man. That product is awesome. I mean, I've dealt with just funk. I always shave my head, so I'm constantly battling funk in my hairline, my beard line, and since I've been using that stuff, I really haven't any issues, man, any outbreaks or anything. So I'm sold, man. You know, I drink the Defense Kool-Aid, so I'm just glad. Hopefully, you know, people get to use that stuff, and maybe they buy in a little bit. It's good stuff. The owner's a great guy too. Backs wrestling,
and you guys work, and you have to compete against them all the time.
Yeah.
Ray's had to beat his guys in the state finals, right?
Yeah. So
you guys are almost like frenemies now.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, and I mean, just a great coach, awesome club. I mean, just total package, man. Yeah, and through the youth stuff, you know. My son and the West Shore kids, they had to scrap and battle, and it is what it is. But just that, you know, Seiko does an awesome job, man, and it's really cool to see. I drove by the new company, the new.
You saw it.
It's awesome.
It's like unreal.
Really cool, man. So it's really good for him. That trajectory of that growth of that company, and to see it still thriving, even in kind of like what we're in now. And what's nice about it is it's very helpful. It's very helpful. It keeps you. It knocks down bacteria and things of that nature, and you know, I think viruses and stuff, and it's really cool to. It's just neat to have it, you know. It's neat to have a partnership with them, and just through being friends and understanding and being able to market that product, 'cause it's really good.
Okay, I lied to you. There is one last thing. You have these Dundee guys here, and they're hammers.
Monsters.
They're total hammers.
They're
like, I like calling them. I'm like, you guys are like honorary Ohio guys.
Yeah.
I said that. It's like
sure.
a joke, right?
Yeah.
But like, dude, they wrestle really hard. They wrestle like they're PA or Ohio guys.
Physical.
They're very physical.
Physical, strong,
but
gritty.
The big thing I would say to you is I brought their coach's name up when we were on vacation. I was like, won the national Dundee coach, won the national coach.
Tim Roberts.
And you were like, great dude.
Yep.
And a lot of coaches aren't like that about one another. You know,
Well,
Eric Brett's like that about everybody. But like
Sure,
a lot of coaches are rivals, or there's like each other or whatever. This guy, you know, everyone I've talked to about Coach Roberts, you know, he trusts to send his best guys here.
Sure. Yep.
Sometimes he comes, they said.
So Coach Roberts, you know, when Eric and I first met him, it's been a while, but we've been able to, Eric and I separately have been able to go up to Dundee on different occasions and work with their kids, and he's very, he's just very open-minded and willing to allow his guys, even though he's probably got a philosophy, right? He's open-minded and allows his kids to work with other people, and he's very social. So you when you're there and you're working with him, and then after you spend time and you talk to him, and you're, as humans, right, our ego and our pride can kick in, and that can be hard to do, right? To allow people to come in, be around your guys, maybe thinking outside of your box, allow your kids to work on stuff that might not be in your wheelhouse. So from the get-go, I've always had a lot of respect for Coach Roberts just because of that. And then it's really cool to see the program thriving and to see like their teams just. And then when you know them, you know I'm partial to the kids because I know them. Known a lot of them since they were little, just through wrestling and being able to work with them here and there. So it's neat to see all that come to fruition. And then when you get to know somebody and you let your barriers down, your personal barriers, and then a good person gets what they deserve. And it just, for me, it's real. It's just cool to see. You know what I mean? So not everybody. I'm sure there's people that we all don't like, right? As far as maybe coaches or whatever. But that guy, he's one of the best. And what impresses me about him is his ability to reload all the time and the tradition that he's built in Dundee. And dude, if you can win a team state championship in something, I don't care what sport it is and what state you're in, you're doing something right. So I think they've won like 12 of them.
Yeah, I was looking at Sonny's shirt.
Yeah, right?
I think
it's 12 or something.
Yeah,
And I mean, that guy is doing,
yeah.
So
Well, it was refreshing though, because a lot of people knock other people down. You were like, great guy.
Yep.
First thing you said about him.
Yeah.
It's just like how Heffernan talks about your brother.
Sure.
Bernie's one of the best, man.
Which is how cool is that?
Yeah.
How awesome is that guy?
First thing he did was
right?
compliment your brother.
Right. Yeah.
In their rivalry that they have between Elyria and St. Edward, right? And that's hard to do, I think.
Yep. You know what? You just made me think about something. Even when it's let's say an enemy or somebody you got to go through to get what you want, a team state championship, right? Or your son's got to go through a Ed's guy or whatever. When there is ultimate respect, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? Whether the outcome is good in your favor or not in your favor, when you ultimately have respect, outright respect for for a person, for who they are as a human being and what they do, I mean, it's almost hard to fake not liking them. You know what I mean? And so for me, that's just because, you know, where I'm at, you know, my age, in my marriage, with my family, I'm a little late as far as like learning about people and your feelings and how to represent. So, you know, it's just really cool to see that. So yeah, Tim Roberts is one of the best guys around.
I don't even know this guy.
Dude, he's awesome. You got to meet him, dude. He's one of the best.
I just like brought his name up, and it was refreshing to hear you talk about another person like
Yeah.
that. And then to see his athletes today, they're a direct product of the guy, you can tell.
Yep.
It's like obvious.
Yeah.
It's not hard, like it's like real easy to see the guys doing the right things.
Yep. Yeah, he's very, just from what I know of Tim Roberts, he's very unselfish.
That is what it sounds like.
I think he, for
Can't
years,
wait to meet
he
this
has
guy.
figured out how to put his kids and his program first before him. And even me, I haven't figured that out yet. And I don't get me wrong, like I'm getting that and I do that, but I'm talking ultimate, selfless. It's about the kids all the time. That's the vision. That's how it's got to be. And I figure when you figure that out, like my brother's another one, these really good elite coaches, when they really figure out, when they can take themselves out of it the right way, that's when stuff just, you know what I mean? So, yeah, dude. Hopefully I can get there one day. So we'll see. It's all learning. Got to learn every day, just like our kids do at camp, right?
Yes. Day one in the books. We good?
Yeah, man, we're good. Hopefully tomorrow goes better or goes just as smooth or a little better. And I'm just excited, man. I'm excited to see like how the next 3 days goes.